Hello, Libra. How are you, Libra? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here, Libra. This is a bonus read for you. I'm doing bonus reads for the top 4 contributors to the channel in 2025. And guess what? You're coming in number 3, Libra. You're the best. Thank you so much for all the ways that you've loved this channel. That would be clicks and views, all your thumbs up, all the ways that you've grown this tribe. It's gotten really big this year. And you guys, it's all about you. Thank you so much for being here and sharing this time with me. I do appreciate every time that you log in to watch. And so I'm here to give you a bonus read. Let's figure out what's going on with you. And this reading is going to be for the year, right? So, any of this could go on any time in the year. It doesn't have to be today or tomorrow. This is a general reading. Please keep that in mind. All the readings I do are general readings. It may not resonate with you, but also it may not resonate with you now because it may not be what's going on with you at this time, right? So let's find out what's going on with you, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Beautiful, balanced friends. Well, most of you, not all of you are balanced just yet, but nonetheless, tell you what, I've seen a Libra out of balance, and I saw that same Libra in balance, and it's a miraculous glow up. It is. Let's find out what is going on with you, Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Hey, don't forget to post in the comments, what is your yearly word? No more resolutions. Stop with the resolutions. Pick one word, friend, and go with it for the whole year. My word this year is unstoppable. This is my year of getting shit done. All the towers that have been pushing me to the ground for years and years. Uranus is leaving my sign, Taurus. And it's time to get some stuff done. So Libra, let's find out what's going on with you. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter in 2026. Tell me about Libra in this bonus read. Oh, we start with the 4 of Wands. Stability comes to you. Celebration. Celebration, stability here. I feel like it's the beginning of your awakening if you have not yet gone through your first awakening. Somebody here is noticing numbers, I would say. You're noticing numbers and the way that you feel in balance when you see those numbers. We have the 2 of Pentacles here. I really do feel that somebody here, it feels like you are going from being on wobbly legs for things being a little bit wobbly, whether that's financially or maybe at home, in your home, or this could be friend group energy as well. It feels like you're going from a place of instability or wobbliness to a place of, happiness and joy. Look at that. We've got celebration, stability, happy home. And then we have the 10 of Cups. I love it. And it's because this is the year you get in balance. Look at that. Somebody in the 2 of Pentacles is, got all the balls in the air. And just because you got all the balls in the air doesn't mean you can't be balanced. I feel like somebody is going from this place of being quite wobbly to being quite solid. And it might be emotionally too. It does feel like you are possibly getting your finances in order, your 3D in order, which means your house, your home, your family. And I feel like that's going to lead to emotional joy for you as you begin to slide back into this place of stability, of harmony. It feels like something's about to be restored, or maybe you might be noticing ways that you can keep in balance. Tell me more about the 4 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles. We have the Star. Okay, so it's wish fulfillment. It's more than hope. I would say that, the Star is always about that hope, but it's also about healing, and it's also about wish fulfillment. It feels like as you get yourself in order, you get your house in order, you get your balance back, things, maybe the money starts to balance, the books begin to balance. This is your year of balance and happiness. And it feels it's because the Star is here. Star is Aquarius energy, still air energy, but it does feel like it is finally, I'm healing from whatever it was that came to rock me out of balance. We've got the High Priestess. One more card. Oh, this is inner happiness is what it looks like. This is inner happiness. This isn't necessarily something that you're going to be telling everybody around you. I think that they're just going to notice the glow up. They're just going to notice that you're more in balance because I gotta say, like when you see people that are out of balance, and when I say out of balance, I mean that maybe you're eating too much or drinking too much or partying too much or, too much of anything. I'm gonna say no matter what it is, you can eat chocolate in moderation, but if you eat too much chocolate, you're gonna gain weight. Do you know what I mean? It feels like something here is coming back into balance, and I think it's because the universe is helping you out with this star card here, which is Major Arcana. It feels like this is internal balance. It feels like you're beginning to trust yourself a little bit more in 2026. Tell me more. We've got the King of Pentacles. You know what? This is a year of financial abundance for you. Look, we've got stability here. We've got hope. We've got things that are healing. What's healing? The King of Pentacles is here. Your stability, it's like 2025 was your year for financial stability, and that could mean Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is not anything with the Two of Pentacles, right? It's the ace when we have these big ideas and we hope for things and we want the abundance, we plant the seed, and then we're finally seeing something come through the ground. And I think that it escalates quickly. I'm going to say that your financial self this year, this is the year for you to get your finances in balance. You've already built your foundation and things are starting to wobble a lot less. And then the King of Pentacles shows up as your foundation. This is the foundation of the reading. So the King of Pentacles is telling me you do get your foundation. You get your foundation because of inner happiness, because of you start to believe in manifestation, but also it feels like you're healing the home. This could also mean that there is, you're catching up on the mortgage, or possibly you're making a large purchase. Whenever I see the King of Pentacles, it does mean to me that there could be a large purchase on the horizon here. I want to say that people are, I don't think you're going to speak it out loud, but I think that people are going to notice that you're just a little bit different, that there might be a bit of a pep in your step, that you are happier, that you are calmer. It's like your nervous system has calmed itself down. The High Priestess is the one with the secrets and the mystery. And people are going to see Libra walking by going, what does Libra have going on that is making them so even or harmonious or in balance? And so I feel like for you, it's going to be financial balance. It feels like it's going to be inner happiness, like inner joy. You're going to start allowing yourself to experience joy in this stability of your wish fulfillment, or of your, it's like a healing of the home, healing of my stability. It feels like now I can celebrate. It feels like you're in a mood of celebration. Look at that. The Fool's on the bottom of the deck, right? The Fool is always the open door that goes to the next chapter. And that's where we are. As I do this reading, I think either on the 3rd or the 4th is when the full moon comes up in Cancer. And we are experiencing already our first time of release in the new year. It came up right away on us. And the Fool energy here is the step into the new year, or the new chapter of your life. And so this Page of Pentacles, I like that because you're at the beginning of something. You're now in a place where you can contemplate, what am I going to do with this energy now? What am I going to do with this energy? So the third pentacle, the one that's in the hand of the page, can be added to the 2, and we can say, I'm starting to feel like I'm foundationally sound. Things are starting to feel a little bit more foundationally stable, I would say. Tell me about the 2 of Pentacles, please. I would say that there's still waves in the background. I'm going to say, because I'm looking at this card here, it's not like things are perfect. And things don't have to be perfect in your life, Libra, in order for you to enjoy life. Life is always going to have its ups and downs, and I think that's what the waves are in the background. But I think that you are taking your time to balance, to stay in balance, no matter what you have going on. No matter how many balls are in the air, I feel like you're doing a really good job of juggling everything. Tell me about the 2 of Pentacles here. What are we juggling? How are we keeping the balls in the air? Because the Ace of Swords is here. Because ultimately you are an air sign. And I do believe what you're doing is you're taking the emotion out of it. It feels like you're becoming very clear about being at the beginning of the path, because the Ace of Swords is the beginning of the path, right? It's the very beginning where we get the big idea, or we have the clarity. Oh, I know what I'm going to do now. I have truth for myself. It's like you make a contract with the self and say, I'm at the beginning again, and we are the year of 1, right? The Ace of Swords is here. We are the year of 1. 2026 adds up to a 1. And so I feel like you come to this place where It's okay if things are sort of up and down. I'm going to keep my balance anyway. And in that, you have some sort of a realization that if I can keep it logical and I'm not in my emotions about all of this, I feel clear to keep in balance, clear-minded. 3 of Cups is here. Celebration. And the World card is here. So it does feel like there is a milestone that you're hitting here. This feels like a really big milestone that you'll be hitting in 2026, and maybe you already have, but it feels like in 2026 you'll be hitting a really big milestone whereby you realize that you can no longer act and do the things that you did in the past, because that just isn't where your balance is. So the world energy being here says it took me a really long time to get here, to have the realization with the Ace of Swords, is to get clear about a lot of things, about what joy means to me, about what balance looks like, about what being stable looks like, because it's not the same for everybody. Look, for somebody, it could be, I finally found a stable place to live that I can afford. For somebody else, it might be, I can finally make the payment on the Porsche. Do you know what I mean? Every month instead of every second month. It's very different for everybody. But the 3 of Cups tells me there is something to celebrate here. So it feels like what you're doing is you're celebrating some sort of an achievement in 2026. You're celebrating some sort of a milestone. There's something here that you're changing. And I think that what you're doing is you're changing your mind. You're closing off or closing the door on things that leave you out of balance, is what it feels like. Because look, we got stability here, we've got clarity here, we've got joy here, and we've got more stability here, things coming into stable energy. I think for a lot of you that it is financial. Doesn't have to be for everybody, of course. For some of you, it could be that you feel ready to date, or you feel ready to bring someone into your life and create a family. It feels like you want it to be maybe financially stable, and stable means something different than being wealthy or owning a mansion and all of that, because it feels like somebody now feels like, I have an influx of money and what's going out is a little bit less than what's coming in. It could mean that. Tell me what's going to make you so happy in 2026, because this 10 of Cups is here. Tell me what's going to make you so happy. Tell me what this joy is, this emotional happiness. We have 2 Piscean cards next to each other here. It does feel like it is an internal happiness. So nothing externally is being added to your life in order to bring you to happiness. We've got the Emperor. You're getting your shit together, Libra. You're getting your shit together is what it is. The Emperor's here. We've got the 7 of Wands. All right, you're getting the checks and balances all in place here. It feels like you are now turning your back on things that were loud, or things that were pulling you off track. We've got the Knight of Swords. It feels like things that were loud, pulling you off track, moving too quickly. The Emperor energy next to the 10 of Cups tells me the place that you get your inner happiness comes from being in control of you. I love that. So, and this could mean maybe possibly being in control of you. Maybe you're now in control of your cash flow because you have a business, or maybe you're an entrepreneur, or you work on your own. Doesn't have to mean that. But the Emperor is always someone who's in control. I'm now at the helm and I'm making all the decisions for me. Whether they're easy or hard decisions, the Emperor makes both. So it does feel like somebody here is now in control of their emotions, in control of their money, in control of their mind and their truth. Somebody here is in control of their foundation, essentially. So I feel like somebody here is now in control. The 7 of Wands tells me you are placing boundaries in the appropriate spots. You are keeping some people at the property line and letting some people into the yard. It feels like you are turning your back on things. I'm going to say watch your back, but I think you're turning your back on things that are no longer feeding your soul. And the King of Swords is telling me that you are being very honest and truthful with yourself about what that is. And you're sorry, this isn't the King, this is the Knight. You're being very truthful and honest about what that is. The Knight, though, is the one that is just going to say it, or just going to do it, or is going to go aggressively at their at their goals, I'm going to say. So I feel like it means a lot to you to be in this place of emotional happiness, and it's not because of another person. If you're looking for happiness outside of yourself, I may not be reading about you today, but this is not because of another person, because the Emperor is sovereign. The Emperor doesn't need anybody else, right? And when you don't need anything, you then flip into this place where you can have what you want, because all your needs are covered. And that's what I meant by the Two of Pentacles, that all the needs are covered. Tell me more. We've got the Fool. The Fool came back. And the Fool is as the new chapter. I feel like you're feeling braver, that there's some sort of exhilarating feeling of running after your goals or being aggressive with how you are dispersing your time, energies, and efforts and your emotions. I feel like you are cutting out the bullshit this year. I feel like you're staying in balance at any cost, which means if you cause a ruckus in my life, Knight of Swords, if you start yelling things at me and coming at me aggressively, I'm just going to take a leap in the other direction. It feels like this is an exhilarating and exciting time for you because you're at a clean slate, right? You're at a clean slate. You can make all the decisions that you want to, and you can make different choices. So I feel like if you're the person who's just dragging the old energy from 2025 into 2026, then I probably am not talking about you, but I feel like there's somebody here that regardless of what's going on, I'm sitting in the Emperor's chair and I'm saying no, and I'm being honest about it. I'm just going to tell you, no, that's not the way it's going down this year. I feel like the Seven of Wands is telling me this is the no. This is you standing up for yourself, blocking people out of your life, or putting up boundaries between you and others that are being aggressive with you, needing things from you. I feel like now this year is going to be one, you. One is the loneliest number, but it's the one that matters, right? Tell me about this Four of Wands, please. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. You're doing it yourself. The Two of Swords and the Six of Wands. It feels like the Four of Pentacles for somebody here. It could feel like this is something that you're doing on your own. So this might be somebody who's maybe cohabitating with someone else who has now decided, I'm moving out on my own. You could be someone moving out of your parents' house. Maybe you had a roommate. Now you're going to be doing it by yourself. But the Nine of Pentacles is confidence. I've realized that I can produce results myself and feel confident while I'm doing it. I feel like you are somebody who has decided to become a much more confident decision maker. And I think I said this to you in another reading before. I don't think you're a bad decision maker. I just think that it takes you a long time to make decisions because, Libra, you like to stay in balance. So for those of you who are very aware of your balance, it's like you take 2 or 3 steps and you wait. Am I in balance? Yep. Okay. 2 or 3 steps and then you wait. So it's almost like overthinking, but I feel like the Nine of Pentacles is telling me that you're doing it slowly because you want to keep your stability. You want to keep your confidence. You want to keep things building in the right direction. It feels like you're having some sort of glow up. And I think I said that. It feels like you're making better decisions and you're making them now under the sun, I would say. Some people, and what I mean under the sun, I mean everybody's going to see you make the decisions. It feels like the Six of Wands tells me people are going to see this as egoic. So be aware that as you make decisions for yourself and you pull back your energy from the boundary and say no, people are going to see you as being on your high horse. They're going to see you as being someone who is making decisions for themselves and without regard of other people. And I would say yes. That's exactly, I think, that what this year is going to be about for you, Libra, is you in this Leo type energy of, yep, I'm coming back home and I'm coming out of the hardest time of my life. It feels like the Six of Wands is always about coming from the war, coming back from the fight and looking great. Even though you've just come out of the hardest part of your life, it feels like people will be here to cheer you on. So I feel like this Three of Cups is telling me that you do have a group, a soul tribe, people who are really excited and celebratory about the achievements and the milestones that you're hitting this year. And I feel like these people are people you can trust because the Ace of Swords is right next door. Let's talk about this because the King of Pentacles is here. And I feel like while you are keeping silent about it here, it feels like the King of Pentacles tells me that you are having some sort of financial healing this year. It feels like your finances are about to heal. Whatever you're calling in your terms of your manifestation is about to show up for you here over the year. Tell me about the King of Pentacles Pentacles, please. Tell me about the King of Pentacles. I feel like whatever you've been building over 2025, whatever that is, could be reputation, could be confidence, it could be a business, whatever it is that you're doing here is about to kind of, I'm going to say, explode a little bit in 2026. It feels like you go from this place of really having to watch about every penny you spend to having more than you need. Tell me about this King of Pentacles here. We have the Eight of Cups. It's because you detach from the outcome. We'll talk about that in a second. We have the Empress. Wow. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We have the Three of Swords. So I feel like you learn from your mistakes is what it's saying here. You learn from your mistakes. I feel like not only are you taking charge, but you're balancing your abundance. I feel like the Eight of Cups is telling me that you've decided, I'm just going to detach from the outcome. And I was saying this in another reading, maybe you heard me say it, but the outcome doesn't matter as much as the journey. Because if you don't learn all of the steps along the journey, it's going to take you twice as long, 3 times as long, or 4 times as long to get to the outcome. So everybody always wants to know about the outcome. When do I get there? And I say to you, well, when are you ready to detach from the outcome? When are you ready to be so focused, King of Pentacles, on yourself, on your money, on your growth, on your stability, on working hard, that when you lift your head, all of a sudden you're in the place you want to be? All of a sudden the outcome is here. So I feel like with the Empress here, it's telling me that, well, this is Libra energy, right? Of course, Taurus and Libra, but Libra energy, it's telling me this is a place where you finally get your abundance in order. The King of Pentacles is here. I feel like you've learned from your mistakes. They could be financial mistakes. They could be overgiving, right? Because the King of Pentacles is an overgiver. That's Taurus energy. But I feel like you're now deciding to release some things, detach from some things, because you're no longer settling. You're no longer settling for the Two of Pentacles. You're no longer settling for the Three of Cups. You want the Ten of Cups. This is a year of you no longer settling. It's you getting really serious about you and paying attention to yourself. I think that some people are going to see you as egoic or maybe selfish. The Emperor doesn't really care what people say about them, because the Emperor is here to build an empire. The Emperor is here to make sure that they're doing everything that they need to do for everyone else in the empire to thrive. And when everyone else is thriving, so will the empire, right? The Emperor will thrive when everyone else does. So I feel like some people are going to see you as egoic in your decision-making process. And it's because you are very confident about how you're building and what direction you're going in. I really love that. So let's talk about, maybe we'll talk about a little bit more about the outcome or what's coming up next. Tell me about Libra. We have the Ace of Cups, we have the Four of Cups, and we have the Ten of Swords. We have the Ten of Wands here as well. Very interesting. So whatever you've been carrying around, whatever's been weighing the most on you, I feel like it's time for you to release it. I feel like at this time that you are in this energy of ignoring anything that is not going to be of your highest good. I feel like you're on a new path. You're on a new path. The Ace of Cups is here. You're on a new path. The Ace of Swords is here. You're being very honest about your heart space and who you're sharing your emotional energy with. This could be romantic or platonic. Take it as it is for you. But I feel like the Four of Cups is telling me the comfortable place for you is that I'm going to be very honest with people, and I'm going to release some people that are doing nothing but betraying my trust, having me betray myself in order to make them in balance. It feels like the Ten of Swords means more than just the betrayal of another person. It feels like I'm betraying myself. I need to start rejecting the idea, Four of Cups, rejecting or saying no to more things when people play on my emotions. I need to say no to those people who have been playing on my emotions. It feels like the Ace of Cups is here, and you're willing to be in this heart space where you're open to love, you're open to happiness, you're open to emotional stability. Four of Cups is the stable part, but I feel like you're also in this place where you're releasing anything that has been holding you down or things that you've been carrying around that are not yours to carry. Anything else that Libra needs to know? Queen of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Strength card. So you are holding back. I feel like you are holding back because you don't want to yet release the beast until you have a plan. You can see the Page of Pentacles there. That person is is contemplating. What do I do? What do I do with this pentacle? Because when we add it to the 2 that's under here, that gives us the stable foundation we have to which build to the King of Pentacles. So the Queen of Swords is being very honest about where I'm going to give my time, effort, energy, money, or my, talking to people, giving them messages. I'm being very honest about that. And I really need to contemplate that, because when people come to me and say, hey, I thought you were coming to my weekend party and you didn't show up. And you're like, that's because I have studying to do. It feels like you're making very clear decisions because you are planting this seed, and it's like the Queen of Swords is being very honest. How much time, effort, and energy do I have? I have to start reorganizing it. So there's going to be some things that you're going to have to hold yourself back from. The Judgment card is here. Look, you're going to be misjudged. You're going to be seen as a bit of a villain. Maybe you're in your villain era. I don't know. You're going to be seen as a bit of a villain because people are going to misunderstand you. And I feel like you don't care. I feel like your 9 of Cups is here. You're going to be building inner happiness, so it doesn't matter what they think. But the Judgment card to me is misjudgment. They feel like you're in the wrong direction, doing the wrong thing, and it doesn't matter to you. Because as long as you stay in balance, and as long as your money's on track, and as long as your house is in order, and as long as you are building whatever it is that you want to build in order to be able to find your balance, then you need to do that, my friend. I'm going to leave this right here. Thank you so much for being here and watching. Thank you so much for being number 3 on my list of 4 top contributors in 2025. And Happy New Year to you, friend. And all the best. I'm going to go. Take care. Bye-bye.